Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm making 3 inexpensive and super easy wreaths that anybody can make. Let's get started. So the first wreath I'll be making is the most traditional kind of wreath, and I'm going to be using this grapevine wreath form. You can pick this up at Walmart or any craft store. If you go to a craft store, you can probably manage to get away with spending about $2 or so on it because craft stores always have coupons available. I wanted this word grateful to be the focal point of the wreath. I got this at AC Moore for about $1 when they were closing, but you can find similar cutout words at any craft store. And if you wanted something custom, like say your last name, you could buy one on Etsy personalized for about $10. To attach the word to the sign, I'm using this picture hanging kit that I got from Dollar Tree. And basically what I'm doing is I have to measure where I think the hooks will lie on the wreath, and I'm hammering them in place upside down. That way the hooks will just loop around the existing twigs in the wreath. Originally I was going to have grateful right in the center, but I decided to move it to the bottom half of the wreath, and I actually prefer the way that looks. I wanted to leave the word in its natural raw wood form. So to bring the eye up a little bit, I wanted to add some color. So I'm just taking this eucalyptus from Walmart. I believe it's $3 for a bunch. It's very pretty. I really like it. And I'm just honestly shoving it right into the grapevine wreath because there's so many nooks and crannies. It's really easy to just manipulate into place. Because the word is so big on the bottom, I'm only putting florals on the top to kind of balance it out. The flowers that I'm pairing with this eucalyptus are Ranunculus. They came from Walmart. I think they were $2 or $3. These are really pretty faux flowers. I think these are just gorgeous, and they pair really nicely against the green of the eucalyptus. To put them on the wreath, I'm just pulling them apart and shoving them in where I like them, just kind of draping them around from the top middle down to the sides. Anywhere I was not able to get my leaves or flowers to sit in exactly how I wanted them, I just hot glued them in place. And because this is staying inside, I'm not worried about the hot glue coming off because of weather. It really just keeps it in place perfectly. To bring in a little more of that warmth of the brown, up top I added a burlap bow that I made using some ribbon, and I just hot glued it in place. And here's the wreath styled above my fireplace. I love how it came out. It costs around $10 to make. And if you were to buy a pre-done wreath at any store, and honestly any style, you're looking to spend at least $40, especially in this size. This next wreath is inspired by a wreath I found at a craft store for $50, which is way more than I wanted to spend, so I decided to make my own. This tobacco basket I got from Hobby Lobby on clearance from springtime last year, so I paid very little for it, like $2 or $3. However, you can buy brand new tobacco baskets at Walmart for $10 or less. Most craft stores will have these as well. In addition to Target has mini ones for $3 if you want to do a small version. So there's lots of options available. To try and mimic the look of that wreath that I saw in the store, I'm using lamb's ear that I got from Walmart. These are $2 for 2 bunches, and some lavender. These are $1.97 also at Walmart. And I'm just placing them kind of in a V shape onto the tobacco basket using some floral tape to hold them in place. If you don't know what floral tape is, it's like a self-adhesive tape that you stretch out. It's great because it holds florals really well, and it's very easy to work with. Here you can see that I'm also adding in some eucalyptus, again from Walmart. I do take this out before I hang it up on my wall, but looking back in the video now, I see that it actually looked really nice and full with eucalyptus, but of course that's the beauty of making your own wreath. You can add whatever florals you like, and you're going to end up paying less than you would for a fully done wreath at the store, no matter what you use. To hide the bottom stems, I just cut a little section of burlap ribbon, and I wrapped it around the bottom and hot glued it in place. And here's a finished product on my coffee bar. If you've watched any of my older videos, you've probably seen it because I made this several months ago at this point. But I love how unique it is, and it's just a different take on a wreath. For the last wreath, I'm kind of going for a BoHo inspired wreath, and what I'm using here for the base is an embroidery hoop. This embroidery hoop I got at a thrift store for 79 cents, but you can find them anywhere crafts are sold, or you could use a wire wreath form from Dollar Tree. They'll have 3 rings on it. You can just cut off 2 of them and then you can make 3 wreaths out of it. I use the inner ring because I didn't think it was necessary to have it so thick. So, and I also like the look of the exposed clamp, but if you don't like that look, you could certainly hide it behind some flowers. For the greenery, I'm using these artificial ferns that I got at Dollar Tree. I just like the look of them and they felt kind of boho to me. Using wire snips, I cut apart the ferns, that way it was just easier to work with small sections. I'm not covering the entire wreath with these fern leaves. I'm making more of a crescent moon type shape. So I'm angling some towards the top and some towards the bottom, and I'm just hot gluing them right onto the wood to keep them in place. Because I'm hanging this wreath up inside, it's fine that I'm using hot glue, but if you wanted to hang this outside, I would either use some floral wire to attach it to the wreath form and or some E6000 to really keep it in place. To make sure the wreath wasn't looking too flat, I did glue some of the leaves to the inner ring portion as well. Before I put the last 2 sections of fern leaves on, I wanted to add in the flowers, that way I could see if there was any bare spots. These flowers are peonies from Dollar Tree, and to make these look a little bit more high-end, I'm taking them apart and making them look fuller. To do this, I'm basically separating 2 entire flowers and making them 1. So like instead of 2 center floral petals, there's going to be 4. Instead of 2 outer groups of petals, there's going to be 4. It just creates a much fuller, nicer flower. After I finished the first one, it was the biggest one I was going to make, so I wanted to hot glue it in place and see how it looked on the wreath. To zhuzh up the next flower, if you will, I didn't want to make this one as full as the first one, so what I actually did was I just took off the backing and I went through and I hot glued the petals so that they were touching each other, making a tighter flower, but also looks fuller because, of course, they're just in a more compact space. Put the little stem back on the flower, and then I hot glued it right underneath the first flower. And because I like groupings of odd numbers, the last flower that I am gluing on, I didn't alter the way I did the other ones. I just left it as it came from the store. I just cut off the stem with my wire snips, which actually made it a lot easier to glue, and I wish I would have done that for the other ones as well. To finish up the wreath, I'll be adding in the fern leaves I have left over. And I'm also going to be gluing some of the leaves that are already on there in place, just so it takes the shape of the wreath a little bit more cohesively. For the last couple leaves, I did decide to glue them directly onto the back side of the embroidery hoop. That way it just added yet another dimension, so it looked a little bit fuller and a little less flat. And that's it for this super simple wreath. I think it looks really cute with the wood bead garland, really gives it a boho vibe. And that's it for today's projects. I hope you guys enjoyed these wreaths and you feel inspired. I would love to see what you create. Tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see you guys there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.